Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Kirsty. I'm a mom, I own a marketing business, and on here I share holistic nutrition, wellness, home birth, breastfeeding, and just lifestyle, and also a glimpse into what our life is like as expats here in the Philippines. I wanted to share something, and that's my story on how I finally healed my years of health and gut issues. So I'm going to be 25 later this year. Around when I was 15 or 16, I was diagnosed with IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome, if you didn't know. For years, I had just uncomfortable bloating after I would eat, and just being uncomfortable all the time. No matter how much water I drank, I felt like I was just retaining it and my body wasn't using it. I feel like I irregularly went to the bathroom and was just overall uncomfortable a lot of the time. And I know a lot of people have these problems too, a lot of women in particular growing up. So like through teenager years, through adulthood, and it's really frustrating. I knew for me when I was diagnosed with IBS, I didn't take anything that the doctors prescribed. I didn't want to rely on just medication for my gut issues, so I started to dig really deep and try to find what was missing. So for me, in my teenager years through like early 20s, I ate a lot of plant-based foods. So I went from being vegan to vegetarian to pescatarian all within like a 1.5 year to 2 year span. And it was mostly for ethical reasons, for one, and two, because I really felt like that was going to heal my gut issues and I was going to be in vibrant health. But I found when I was mostly plant-based, I felt just fatigued, really tired. I still had the same gut health issues. I have psoriasis, and that was made worse at around that time too, so I would get flare-ups. So that was definitely frustrating, especially with the psoriasis flare-ups. It could be really uncomfortable and itchy, painful. So after just doing a lot of my own research and looking to different functional nutritionists, holistic health, etc. So I used to be a holistic vet tech, and we promoted biologically appropriate diets, so raw fed diets for dogs and cats under our care. My dogs, who are almost 8 years old, have been on that diet and are in vibrant health, and I truly believe it's because of their diet. So every time we've done blood work or they've been seen by the vets are always super impressed because they still look like puppies. They have really vibrant coats, good dental health, etc., which is kind of rare for dogs. So that was kind of a catalyst into my own health journey, and I started looking into appropriate diets and foods to start implementing into my health. So the first thing I did was incorporate a probiotic. So I've been on a probiotic. I use different types of probiotics. It's good to switch out the types of bacteria strains that you consume just for overall gut health. I started using a probiotic when I was about 18 or 19. Like I said, I'm almost 25, so I've been on a probiotic, and after a few days, a few weeks, I instantly felt a lot better. I started going to the bathroom more regularly, and that's because a lot of us are lacking in good bacteria in our stomachs. A lot of us have leaky guts, and it's because of the food we consume. We don't have enough fiber. We don't eat a lot of foods that are rich in healthy bacteria. So that was the first thing. I incorporated a probiotic, and then I also just incorporated really nutrient dense foods. I know at first, so whether you have chronic constipation or your stools are loose, usually eating nutrient dense foods at first can feel really hard for your body. So you might still be constipated or more constipated or have softer stools, but that's because your body is adjusting. So I incorporate a lot of fiber into my diet, as well as just foods that I like to say are alive, so are fermented, so kimchi without any added sugars or seed oil. Next, I want to talk about protein. So I started to incorporate back in animal-based protein that was also sourced really well. So high quality protein is really important. Grass-fed and finished butter, beef, pasture-raised, eggs, and chicken. If you hear anything in the background, I have a nursing toddler right now. But anyway, protein is really important. I used to sometimes incorporate like plant-based protein, but also mock protein. So like if you've ever heard of like Beyond Burger, those are really bad because they're fake filler food, highly processed, and our bodies don't know how to break those down and don't know how to properly utilize that protein. So like I said, incorporating back in just fish that's wild caught, and steaks and beef that are sourced well as chicken, and incorporating all those things back into my diet and being intentional about how much protein I consume too. As women, we don't consume as much protein as our body needs, which can result in feeling fatigued, tired, sluggish. One thing that I also got really good at is reading labels. So for my family, we don't really eat a lot of packaged foods. We make a lot of our foods and snacks at home. Our snacks will be just fruit, cheese, like crackers and hummus, things like that. So just natural, real foods. Also, avoiding processed sugar. So not all sugars are the same. I feel like people talk about how bad sugar is, and that can be true, and that's because we mostly consume processed sugars. There's a difference. So real unprocessed sugars, that includes like raw agave nectar, raw honey, raw maple syrup, and cane sugar that's unprocessed as well. And then you have processed sugars like table sugar, simple syrups, or other flavored syrups, plus brown sugar. Those are processed and our body doesn't know what to do with them and turns them into fat. That can be a lot of strain on our stomachs too, which causes a lot of people to have different stomach issues. So just avoiding processed sugars. Of course, have your treats here and there, but try to substitute those processed sugars with real sugar. And real sugar obviously is fruit too. And then this one is really important. I've talked about Nature's Gatorade on my channel before, and I've showed you how I make it. It's water, so we either use alkaline water or spring water. That's what we drink. And then I add sea salt to the water for all the minerals in it, and just a few pieces of lemon or lime for taste. And the salt is really important. I think a lot of people think salt is bad, but actually we need salt for our bodies. We need the minerals in there in order for our body to be hydrated on a cellular level and to actually be able to use the water that we're drinking. A lot of people will just drink a bunch of water and just have to pee all the time and not be able to use the water. So your body is in constant dehydration. I would say that's one of the easiest things to start incorporating into your diet, just drinking mineralized water. You can get electrolyte packets, and those are super helpful because they're flavored. Some people don't like to drink water, so that's a good option. Drinking coconut water, we always have coconut water at home that's organic, and or not, just on a day-to-day basis, having mineral, high quality sea salt to add to your water. And then the last thing I want to talk about is fasting. As women, especially if you're of conceiving age and you're trying to conceive, and even if you're not, because fertility is just a great marker for health, fasting is really bad for our health. For women, it's different for men, and if you look up studies, they're mostly done on men that say that fasting has helped or boosted their health or digestive systems. At first you might notice you're losing weight, but then after a while your body will start to store fat because you're fasting. So fasting is not good for women's hormones. We need to be eating smaller portions throughout the day for hormone balance, which has everything to do with our gut health. And I used to fast, not intentionally, but because I was one of those people that woke up and would be like, oh, I'm not really hungry. But that's because your body is used to being in fight or flight mode, so it won't signal that you're hungry. But trust me when I say, and I've said this a few times on this channel, make sure you eat in the morning and eat an adequate breakfast. So don't just have oatmeal and fruit. That's a good source of fiber, but there's not enough protein in there, and that's what we really need to kickstart our metabolism for the day. So make sure you're eating enough protein aim for about 30 to 40 grams of protein in the morning. So that could be a Greek yogurt bowl plus 2 eggs, or 2 eggs, sausage, bacon, etc. And overall, it just takes time. Everyone is different, and at first, starting to eat real foods and whatnot can be confusing for your body and a lot of work on your digestive system. But it takes time for your body to get used to eating and processing real food after it's been used to being in an inflamed state and eating processed things. So hopefully that's helpful. I always tell my family and friends, I always get them on a probiotic at the very least, and talk about hydration and protein and make sure that everyone is getting adequate protein. But that is my journey about how I have healed years of gut health issues, and I'm super proud of it, and I'm happy that I have this knowledge and am able to feed my family this way. So hope you found this helpful. If you did, please subscribe and stick around for more videos about holistic nutrition and health. I'm in my 3rd trimester, so I'm going to be making a nesting video soon and just more content on that, and as well as home birth, breastfeeding, etc. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Sabihin mo bye. Really, bye. Sabihin mo bye. Bye.